Okay, so we're recording our class today for Brooke and Rousseau and Oliver. Hi! We miss you. I hope this comes over well. I sent you the source texts. I got them out of, I think this is All Things Fun and Fascinating, which is another IEW book. This one has nothing to do with anything other than it's just some sources that were kind of easy for us. I'm going to read them to you, but I sent these to you also, so read along. This is source number 1. I'm going to hand them out to the kids. And this is thanks to Louis Braille. Louis Braille was blind. When he was young, he desperately wanted to be able to read. However, at that time, there was no practical way for the blind to read. Then one day, he heard about night writing used by the French army. It was a code of raised dots and dashes that soldiers could quickly feel when it was dark. That gave Braille the idea he needed. He worked hard to create an alphabet and code. He made each letter a pattern of small raised dots. He learned his alphabet so well that he could quickly read and easily with his fingers. Now his system is taught to blind people everywhere. It is called Braille. Thanks to Louis Braille, the blind have a way to read. Okay, so
it shows you A, B, C, D, E, F.
So what we're going to do is we're going to outline this source number 1. You still see me? I'm the same way over here. So what is our topic? What's our topic, Sophia?
Louis Braille and him creating Braille.
Very good. Louis Braille. Oh, I should capitalize it since that's his name. Created or creates Braille. Okay, very good. So, number 1. Jordan, what can you tell me about the first sentence?
Louis Braille was blind.
Right. Louis Braille was blind. Right? Joshua, what can you tell me about the next sentence?
When he was young, he desperately wanted to be able to read.
Lovely. Thank you for reading that sentence to me. Now, can you kind of outline it and give me a couple words out of it?
Yes. Young, desperately and able and read.
So if I write down young, able, read, is that going to help me know that he was not able to read?
No.
Okay, so I want to get across the message that he was not able to read. So if I would say young,
desperately wanted.
how about wanted?
Wanted, young, no,
Right.
Desperately wanted to read.
Very good. Jordan, back to you. Next sentence. Next, back to you.
Okay.
They're trying to tell me how to go back and forth.
However, at that time there was no practical way for the blind to read.
Josh, can you put your paper down? Because that's distracting on the camera. Thank you. Okay. So no way to read. No reading for the blind. And then what happened? Sophia.
Heard about night reading, French army.
French night reading. And what was that?
The way they read in the dark.
Yes, but let's go to the next one. Which was it? It was
Raised dots and dashes.
So it was a series of raised dots and dashes. Okay. And then Joshua. Let's read the next 2 sentences.
You mean this one?
Mm-hmm.
That gave Braille the idea he needed. He worked hard to create an alphabet of code and an alphabet in code.
Okay, so he created
an created alphabet code.
Very good. And then, Jordan.
He made each letter a pattern of small raised dots.
And keep going.
He learned his alphabet so well he could quickly and easily with his fingers.
So he read with fingers. All right, one last one here. Josh.
Oh wait, I just read.
He read with his fingers.
Okay, wait, okay, now his system is taught to blind people everywhere.
Now,
System taught blind.
people.
No, blind.
To blind.
Blind people.
And our clincher, Sophia.
Thanks, and then LB. Blind can read, or
Blind can read. There we go. Source number 1. All right. Now, source number 2.
really collect the papers and put it in.
All right. Louis Braille was blinded by an accident when he was 3 years old. As a child, he loved to learn. He was happy at his special school in Paris, France. However, the school did not have a good way to teach him to read. He was determined to find a better way. He tried many ways that did not work, but he did not give up. He was persistent. Finally, when he was only 15 years old, he realized that the alphabet had to be put into code. He made each letter a pattern of 1 to 6 raised dots. Braille learned to read quickly with the system. Sadly, his system was not accepted by his teachers. In fact, it was banned from the school at first. 5 years later, in 1829, he published his system. Today, it is used by blind people all over the world. Are you good over there? Hi, camera. Okay, so, Jordan, let's start with you today. You ready?
Louis Braille was blinded by accident when he was 3 years old.
Blinded. Accident.
3 years old.
3 years old. Joshua.
Child loved learn.
So he loved to learn, and he loved his special school.
Oh, this is.
Well, we're going to combine some stuff here, right?
In France.
So it says,
Ooh.
ooh,
That's right.
3 blind people in France. Now we're in Paris, France. All right. Number 2, Sophia.
Okay, I don't know if you can do this. If you circle a good way and then cross it out, like not a good way.
You say teach.
Read.
It doesn't matter if it was a good way or a bad way. They had no way, right?
Yeah, make it like a
You
little.
couldn't teach
Make an
reading.
arrow. Make an arrow from X out teach to read. So they know about reading. Not like the whole school was bad.
Couldn't teach to read. Okay, now I want you to, we're going to read the next couple sentences and figure out how to summarize them, okay? He was determined to find a better way. He tried ways that didn't work, but he didn't give up. He was persistent. How can I summarize that?
Never gave up or
Okay, so he was
persistent.
persistent.
Persevering.
Persevering, great word. Persevering to create a way. Look good? So then, what did he do?
He realized when he was 15
15 years old. Go on, Josh.
that he had to make an alphabetical code of 1 to 6.
He created an alphabet code. All right. Now, there's detail there. We don't need that. We don't need that detail because we're summarizing. We're not going to give all these details, right? And he learned to read quickly, so he created an ABC code and quickly learned it. Quickly learned to use, right? And then what happened, Jordan?
Ari on he made
Sadly. My little sad face.
Sadly, his system was not accepted by the teachers.
The school
Not accepted.
accepted. Right? But then
5 years later.
Right. 5+ years.
Should we put 1829 or not?
We can. It gives us a
Published.
marker.
System.
Published. And now
Today.
Used all over the world by blind people.
used all over the world.
Worldwide.
Or worldwide. Or
Everywhere.
Or
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say.
You're
gonna
Look,
draw
it's
an Earth,
America.
really?
It's America.
I don't see it.
It's America's on kind of on the left side. You can see Canada.
there it is. We've got a little bit of the world. I drew a world for you.
Hey, but I see China.
I am
No,
not an
no,
artist
no,
though,
that's a
so
British.
I'm glad that you can't see it all the way from that camera. Just imagine it's a beautiful picture of the world. Okay.
That's British though.
So now we've got our two sources. Let's talk about how we make this into one paper very quickly. I'm not going to write it for you. I'm just going to give you an idea of what this would look like. Okay. So our topic sentence needs to reflect,
Or
be reflected
or
in our
repeat.
clincher. So let's say what a clincher does. A clincher reflects or repeats something in our first.
Topic sentence.
Very good. Topic first. Either one. I love it. Reflects or repeats. So our topic sentence is Louis Braille creates Braille. Well, is that a great sentence?
No.
What else could we do with that sentence? Give it. Give it some muscle. Come on.
What do you think?
If we can find out the
we could
year.
say. Well, let's see. Okay. We could figure out the year. When he was 15, he created this code. 5 years later, in
He was 20.
1829, which means he was 15 in
It was
1824.
like 1809, sort of.
So he's 15, and this is 1824, which means when he was 15 years before that, what's 1824 minus 15?
1812. No.
1824. Okay.
Oh, 1990. Oh. Okay, sorry.
What math are you doing?
1790 something?
1809.
Wait.
1809.
No.
9 and 15 or 24, right?
What's 24 minus
15?
15?
1809.
No, wait, let me
It
think.
says 5 years
1809.
later when he was 20. It
Yeah.
says 1829. Have we?
Yeah, you could have just done 20 minus
Yeah,
18.
because in this year, in 1824, he was 15. Oh, I did. That's 1809, so that's 1812. Who said 1812? Jordan, you're brilliant. Smarter than the teacher. All right, so
In the war.
in the War of 1812. While across the sea, the War of 1812 was raging.
Now my paper.
In Paris, France, little Louis Braille was born, who would soon create a way for all blind people to read through Braille.
Wow.
You like that sentence? Okay. So there's our topic sentence. we could just say he's blind, or we could say at the age, here's our prepositional opener here. At the age of 3, little Louis was tragically blinded in a horrific accident.
3 years
Right.
old.
Yet, he loved to learn and wanted to read and was sent to a special school. Although the school was very good, the school was unable to teach him how to read. Right? Yet, little Louis was persistent, persevering, and perpetually trying to create a way. He once heard about the French army. Please stop with the paper. He once heard about the French army creating a way of night reading through raised dots and dashes. And so, at the age of 15, little Louis, who was now much bigger at the age of 15, began to create an alphabet code, which was a series of dots and dashes. He quickly learned how to use this code and quickly was reading with his fingers. Yet sadly, the school did not accept this. In fact, it was banned. Just 5 years later, he took his system and published it. The year was now 1829. Now, the Braille system is taught to blind people everywhere. It's used all over the world, and we can now thank Louis Braille for blind people everywhere being able to read. Ta-da! Clap. Oh, I thank you so much. Oh, thank you. And that concludes our class today on Unit 6.
What's the
Everybody
homework?
turn to the camera and wave.
What's the homework?
Write another paper. Do it again.
Paragraph?
1 paragraph sounds great. Love you guys.
Lily, come on, say